I am you, and you are me. A stuffed wombat production.
Look, listen. You must know what this is, otherwise you wouldn't have started listening. Anyway, that voice you just heard told you what the stupid thing's called. Oh, God, I can't take this anymore. I'm fed up with this announcer role. I can act, you know. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind... Oh, ow, oi, no, stop that.
I apologise to listeners for any distress the previous outburst may have caused them. I can assure you that my colleague is now tranquilised and receiving appropriate medical care. In the meantime, I would like to take this opportunity to assure you that this is a stuffed wombat production. Sadly, I have no idea what the play is called because I didn't hear the intro. It would also appear that my colleague has eaten the first page of the script following his breakdown, so I haven't a clue where the play is set. Okay, it appears that someone might be approaching Dick Zung's house. No idea who it is, though. I hope that helps.
Coming. Yes, can I help? Ah, I think you've got the wrong address. The homeless shelter is down the road.
Zung, it's me, Mugg.
Yes, of course you are. Look, as I said, the homeless shelter is down the road. Now, push off.
Zung, it's really me.
No, it can't be. You look emaciated, dishevelled, tramp-like. At a guess, I'd say that you haven't washed or shaved in weeks, possibly months.
I haven't. Look, could I come in? Please?
Please,
old boy. I haven't had a decent cup of tea in ages.
Yes, sorry. Look, would you mind while I get an old newspaper to put on the sofa before you sit down?
Of course.
Back in a sec. Should probably bring the air freshener too. Right, there you go. Large mug of tea and a slice of Victoria sponge.
Thank you.
You're jolly lucky I was at home. I'm due to fly off to sunnier climes in a few days' time.
I say, it's not like you to go abroad at this time of year.
Well, I won a competition, didn't I?
Oh, congratulations.
Look, might I inquire into the reason for your vagrant-like appearance?
I got deported to Rwanda for migrant processing.
What? Sorry, say that again.
The bloody British government, my own sodding government, sent me to Rwanda for migrant processing.
Why? That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Didn't you tell them who you are?
Of course I flipping did.
And what did they say?
Very funny, Mr. Mugabe.
Mugabe?
I know.
But you clearly don't have African heritage. Well, certainly not in the last 100 years, anyway.
I know, I did point that out to them. They were adamant I was going and clearly very keen to get me onto a plane and out of the country before I could get the decision overturned.
That's terrible. So I assume they recognised their mistake once you got to Rwanda.
Did they, hell? They were going to deport me back to Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe? What? Why?
That's where they claimed I was from. Said they'd seen my Zimbabwean passport to prove it.
Wait, you said they were going to deport you. What happened?
Well, I escaped, didn't I?
But you were in Rwanda. How on earth did you get home?
I had to walk and hitchhike, didn't I? About 6,000 bloody miles, give or take. That's why I've been away for so long.
How on earth did you survive?
I do have some valuable skills, you know. I bartered them for food and lifts.
Skills such as?
Well, assembling IKEA furniture, for example. You wouldn't believe the global demand for that kind of assistance.
But how did you get across the borders without a passport?
I'd rather not talk about that. Look, we need to find out what's going on. I tried to get into my flat using the key under the plant pot, but all the locks have been changed.
I wonder who did that.
No idea. Look, would you mind awfully if I had a shower and a shave first?
Crikey. But of course, old chap, be my guest.
I can't tell you how good it feels to be clean again.
Yes, you almost look like you again. Apart from the clothes.
Thanks. Yes, the dinner jacket has clearly seen better days and the tracksuit bottoms are a bit on the loose side.
You're not kidding.
And the Wellington boots? A little incongruous.
They're the only footwear I had in your size.
Yes, they'll have to do.
OK, so what do we do now? If you go to the police, they might arrest you.
Let me have a think. Well, that didn't work. None of the locksmiths I called would get me back into my flat without some proof of identity. And, of course, any documentation I might have is...
In the flat.
There's no chance of us breaking in. You know how security conscious I am. We'd have to smash the door down with a sledgehammer. Knowing my luck, one of the neighbours would have called the police before we got through the front door.
Yes, that is going to make things tricky. Look, I know this is a bit unethical, but you've heard of Ketamine Kenny?
Yes, you have mentioned him from time to time.
Ah, well, he has a friend, Furtive Freddy, ex-con, served several years for housebreaking. I'm sure he could get in with minimal damage. I could try getting in touch with him.
You may as well. I don't see any other option. Can you get hold of him ASAP?
Don't worry, he said he'd be here soon.
I don't see any...
Afternoon.
Crikey, where did you come from?
Ah, now that'd be telling. I don't like to attract attention.
Of course. Look, could you get me back into my flat without doing too much damage? I need to get...
I don't need to know if it's all the same to you. Now, did you bring the dosh?
Zung?
Right, a monkey, wasn't it?
That's what we agreed. Stick it in the bag.
OK, there you go.
Ta, now let's have a look at this lock. Yeah, no problem. I'll have you there you go.
What?
My word, that was quick.
I'll be seeing you. Ta-ta!
I'd never have believed my flat was that easy to break into. I must review my security measures when this is all over.
Lucky for you, whoever broke in didn't nick the Tim machine.
Ah, they couldn't. I've added a fingerprint reader and iris scanner to prevent just that.
Well, that's a relief.
Right, let's find my driving licence and passport and call a locksmith again. And get the bloody locks changed back.
Where do you keep them?
In the safe, in the cupboard. I'll... Flipping heck, the safe door has been forced open. Wait. Odd. Hang on. There are 2 passports in here.
I wonder who the other one belongs to.
Now that can't be a coincidence. This one is a Zimbabwean passport in the name of... Timothy...
Mugg, are you OK? You've gone very pale.
Of Timothy Mugabe, except that that's definitely my picture in it. So who does this British passport belong to? Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Who?
Major General Timothy Mugg, of course. Except this is not my mugshot, if you pardon the pun. That, dear friend, is a photograph of Adolf bleeding Brussle.
Never. Let me have a look. Good grief, so it is. What's he up to?
Identity theft, obviously. But for what nefarious purposes?
How on earth did he manage to get the new passport issued? He looks nothing like you. Surely the people at the passport office aren't that dim.
Well, the only way I can think of is either having a person inside the passport office or by hacking their computer system. The former doesn't guarantee that the insider will be able to intercept the passport application. However, the latter is technically very challenging.
So, how are you going to get your passport back with your photograph in it?
The quickest route might be the hacking option. Clearly illegal, but then We're simply reversing an unauthorised and unjustified change.
And that's something you can do, is it?
Of course not. But I do know a very smart person who does have the requisite skills and who would undoubtedly be sympathetic to my cause. Come on, we don't have a moment to lose.
My goodness, Major General, what a tale of woe. You said you were in need of my expertise. Now, how can I be of service?
Well, Miss Lovelace, as I mentioned, the photograph on my passport has been swapped for that of Adolf Brussle, a person you're only too familiar with. I was hoping that you might be... Look, this is completely illegal, but I hoped you might be able to hack into the passport office's computer, put my photograph back on their records and have a new passport issued to me.
That could prove a little tricky. You see, they've probably tightened up their security since I undertook some system penetration testing for them. I hoped they'd learned some valuable lessons in defence in depth.
What?
When?
About 2 months ago. Out of the blue, I was approached by someone from AB Technical Services Limited, who said they'd been contracted by the Passport Office to audit their computer systems. Apparently, the system penetration testing was a critical part of the contract. They said they'd like to subcontract that part to me. Well, I was delighted to show them how poorly protected their systems were.
Didn't you ask for some identification?
They showed me their badge and government lanyard when they came to the door. Unfortunately, I didn't have my reading glasses on, so I took them at their word. Oh dear, I've been duped, haven't I?
It would appear so. Look, could you please, break in again and fix my passport?
Certainly. It's the least I can do.
Come on, Zung. We need to contact Wormwood Scrubs and have Adolf Brussle's stay there extended. He's got several years of that Santa-related sentence left. Yes, hello. Is that the prison governor?
Yes. To who am I speaking, please?
This is Major General Timothy Mugg.
Enjoying your freedom, are you?
Freedom? From what?
Your cell, of course.
But I haven't been in prison.
Very funny, Mr. Mugg. Now
No, really, I haven't been in prison. Listen, I need to pass on some information about one of your inmates, one Adolf Brussle. He's...
You mean you?
No, not me. I said Adolf Brussle.
Are you sure you're not having another schizophrenic episode? Or perhaps a bout of memory loss brought on by the stress of your appeal?
What appeal?
Memory loss it is then.
I don't have memory loss.
Which is precisely the sort of thing a person with memory loss would say.
Oh, hang on. Talk to my friend here, Mr. Zung. Zung?
Yes. Hello? Right. The, person here next to me is Major General Timothy Mugg. We want to pass on information about the recent criminal activities of one Adolf Brussle.
I'm confused. Are you saying you want your friend Timothy Mugg rearrested?
Of course not. I want to ensure that Adolf Brussle isn't let out of Wormwood Scrubs.
Is this a wind-up? We released Timothy Mugg, the prisoner formerly known as Adolf Brussle, this morning.
Why?
We had to. He was released on a very tenuous legal technicality. His original prosecution and conviction was under the name of Adolf Brussle, when in fact it should have been as Timothy Mugg.
Ah.
Now, what was this information you wanted to pass on?
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry to have wasted your time. Good day. So what do we do now? Brussle could be anywhere.
Oh, I don't know, but if I'd been stuck in prison for a year, the first place I'd go is down the pub. Quick, what's the nearest one to Wormwood Scrubs?
Google Maps says it's the Pavilion. Are we going to confront him?
No, way too risky. We need to get down there quick. Keep watching him and then follow him back to wherever he plans to hide out.
Look, he's at the window table. He's busy talking to his sidekick, Obadiah What's-his-name. I don't think we can risk going in. What do we do?
I have an idea. Can I borrow your iPhone?
I must say that was an inspired idea, putting my iPhone outside on the window ledge, next to where they were sitting. Let's hope it was sensitive enough to pick up their conversation through the window.
Let's see, shall we? I'll just play back the recording and...
Scrag. Can I call you that?
Yes, boss. You can call me anything.
Do you want to know what I am going to do now that Timothy Mugg is out of the way?
I thought you were Timothy Mugg, boss.
Yeah, I am, but I am not.
Boss, my head hurts. I thought you said...
Poor Obadiah, such a tiny brain. Listen, I was Adolf Brussle, but I stole Timothy Mugg's identity. I then changed his identity to Timothy Mugabe and had him shipped off to Rwanda.
Okay, I think I understand. So, what did you have planned for the other two?
Well, I still hope that I can get that Princess Freckles arrested by Interpol.
What for?
Didn't you manage to persuade Queen Clement Rotarica to record a statement framing Princess Freckles for match-fixing at the recent World Catan Championships?
No.
Why not?
Every time I told her what she was supposed to say, she immediately forgot it.
Damn und blast. I had a lot of money on that Patrice Valaye beating that Bruce person. It must have been a fix. We'll have to come up with another plan. Maybe something to do with champagne or snoring. Now, what about the other one?
You mean Dick Zung?
Yes. Did he fall for that tropical island with all-you-can-eat baked beans meal plan competition?
Yes. I rang him to tell him he'd won last week. He was almost in tears on the phone.
Pity for him, there'll be no baked beans and no hope of rescue from the island. Right, I think we better settle up and head back to base.
I knew that competition was too good to be true. The evil bugger, preying on my weakness for beans.
Crikey, we need to warn Princess Freckles as soon as possible. If only we had her phone number, we could call her.
Well, actually, I do have it on my phone.
Really?
Yes, she gave me her number when she found out I shared her love for champagne.
Well, what are you waiting for? Put it on speaker.
Dickie, darling, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Princess, you're in trouble. Adolf Brussle is trying to get you locked up.
How dare he? Why me?
He's after me and Dick too.
He's out for revenge then. If it wasn't for us, he wouldn't be in jail for that Santa Claus business last Christmas.
Oh, of course. Why didn't I see that?
Well, he can rot in jail for all I care.
Unfortunately, he's been let out.
Why?
Long story. Look, where are you?
London, doing a tour of the art galleries and the charity shops.
Brilliant. Can you meet us at my flat? We need to formulate a plan of action to protect each other.
Better not go there. I'm guessing Obadiah had your locks changed on Brussels' orders. How about Tina's Cafe?
Good idea. Can we meet you there ASAP, Princess?
Certainly.
I'm sorry to hear that your identity's been stolen, Major General.
Thank you, Princess. Thankfully, Miss Lovelace has reversed the change, and I should have my passport back in a few days.
So, what do we do about Brussels?
I'd like to have him shipped off to the arse end of nowhere and see how he likes it.
Yes, but it wouldn't take him long to get back. Hang on, couldn't we use your Tim machine to ship him back in time and dump him in the Middle Ages? With luck, he'll catch the plague and die.
It's a tempting idea, but I couldn't do that to him. Anyway, who knows what changes he might wreak on history if he doesn't die? We could end up unexisting.
I didn't think of that.
Perhaps we could arrange for Brussel to meet with a little accident? I have some rather shady connections, you know.
No, I couldn't have that on my conscience either.
OK, what then?
Well, it ought to be something fitting. Couldn't we swap his identity?
I really don't think that's going to make much of a difference.
And what are we going to do with that idiot Scrag?
Hang on. I think I have the germ of an idea. We need to pay Miss Lovelace another visit. Come on, we don't have a second to lose. So, Miss Lovelace, the plan is to intercept and incapacitate Brussel and Scragg at my flat. I'll then use my tin machine to transport them precisely 20 years forward in time to your sitting room. All being well, you'll have perfected the contraption we've discussed by then. You can then perform the switch on our two captives before I take them back in time to a couple of hours after they left. I'll dump the pair of them in the local park with a couple of empty bottles of scotch before returning to just after my departure point.
That'll give us plenty of time to walk over to the park and watch their fate unfold.
Splendid. I can't think of a better punishment for that miserable pair. Unfortunately, the effect will only last a year. That's the best I could do.
I think they'll have learned their lesson by then.
It's such a shame I can't be there to witness the result. It's my gin tasting group tonight, and I don't like to miss it.
I could... Oh, never mind. It'll just complicate matters. OK, how do we incapacitate Brussel and Scragg?
I have an idea, but we need to get back to your flat sharpers, Major General. Dick, do you happen to have any champagne at home?
Yes, I bought a case for Christmas just the other day. Why? Do you really think Princess Freckles can outdrink Brussel and Scragg?
I don't know, but it's... Shh! I think I can hear Brussel and Scragg now.
Scragg, the back door is open. I thought I told you to change all the locks.
But I did. Who's that at the kitchen table?
Hello, gentlemen. What are you doing in my flat?
Your flat?
Yes, Major General Mugg left it to me were he to go missing for any reason.
I don't think so. You see, I have the keys and I am Timothy Mugg.
We seem to have reached an impasse. Perhaps we can resolve this like civilised people over a glass or two champagne. Mr... Who are you?
Scragg.
Mr. Scragg, why don't you join us? Can I top up your glass, Mr. Brussle?
I don't think... Well done, Princess. You were amazing.
Yes, Brussel and Scragg look completely comatose.
Come on, help me get them onto the tin machine. Great. I'll set the dials for Miss Lovelace's sitting room 20 years into the future and... Miss Lovelace.
Punctual as usual, Major General.
Is the consciousness transfer device ready?
Indeed it is.
Let's get them swapped over then so that I can dump them back in the park.
OK. Let me adjust the targeting array. There. Right. Stand clear. All done.
Brilliant. See you later. I mean, earlier. Bye.
Where exactly are you going to materialise?
About 10 feet the other side of those bushes. It's the only place in the park that we could hide and hear how Brussel and Scragg come to terms with their new identities. There I am. I dump them on the ground with the bottles, waft the smelling salts. Where am I? And head back to the flat half an hour ago.
I am so looking forward to this.
Shh! Oh, my head hurts. I feel really strange too. This body feels unfamiliar. Scragg, where are you?
I'm, here?
Why are you wearing a mask with my face on?
I'm not. But you look like... me. Boss, I'm confused. I don't remember my arms being this long, or having so much hair.
No, you must have a mask on. What is going on? Wait, why are my legs so short? Oh no, what has happened? I am you and you are me. What am I going to do? I can't be a supervillain looking like this. I will be laughed out of the supervillains club. Scragg, this is all your fault.
I Am You and You Are Me was written by Tim Reed and starred Richard Hall as the announcer, Dick Zung, and Obadiah Scragg. Tim Reed was Timothy Mugg and Adolf Brussle. Sarah Gorton was the second announcer. Freddie Gorton was Furtive Freddy. Jill Barrington was Miss Lovelace. Hazel Hall was Princess Freckles, and Caitlin Asprey was the prison governor. The sound effects were purple, and it was a stuffed wombat production.